I opened for Madhuri Dixit in 2024, and that was, I think, one of my best performances. Individuality thing is important. I always try my best, and from a child, to be different, be myself. Well, be different by being myself. I started a YouTube channel in 9th grade, and I would just post covers. I would just make songs, record songs, and film little videos and just put it online, because I think it's time that the Indian market has some new solo kind of musician who's self-sufficient, creating songs by themselves. I think that's definitely the future of how this industry may progress. I would like to inspire more and more people to just figure out what you're actually really good at and go after that. I think that's the best career advice I could say to anybody is, passion is just one small bit of it, but find out what your top skill is. What are you the best at? And then that is the biggest chance you'll have to succeed in any career. I won a karaoke competition to meet Arjit Singh, who's my biggest idol at that time, and everything was set. I went to his concert and I was supposed to get a backstage pass to go and meet him, personally, and for whatever just bad play of events, it just didn't happen. 4 years later, I was invited by his team, his concert team, to help as a influencer for the show, through social media promotion and all that. So I sang versions of his songs to get people in the area to, buy tickets and go to that show. And as a byproduct of that, I was one-on-one, got to meet him, which was so cool. Everything has to be about getting your name on a song, an official song, officially released song, not these Instagram covers, not the YouTube stuff, an actual song. And so in technical terms, each song has IP. It's the actual piece of intellectual property that exists in the world, right? That is where the industry is. There is so much money in music, contrary to what people believe. There is so much money if you own that IP of your song. Record labels, right? Big record labels, they are worth billions of dollars, right? But they don't go on tour. They're not doing concerts. So where is that? How are they getting billions of dollars? It's because they own all these different songs. My true focus is I want to build the biggest catalog of songs that I own, and I want to perform live as much as I possibly can. And I think anybody in different parts of music can do both of these things. So that's how I would structure it. It's not that complicated. It's just you need songs, you need live performances.
Hi Nikhil, welcome to What's Up Pro.
Hi, nice to meet you, and very honored and excited to speak with you today.
Nice to meet you too. So, before we start talking about music, tell us who Nikhil is when he's not composing or performance.
Who is Nikhil? That's a difficult question. I think I am inherently somebody who believes a lot in being an individual and doing whatever I truly believe in doing. That's always been how I have been as a kid, no matter what endeavor I'm seeking. It's if I'm convinced or convicted about something, I go and do it. And I think that's how I just approach every day in my life. If I want to do something, I go and do it. If I have some intention, I go and do it. I'm curious. I always like to see what's possible. I think the individuality thing is important. I always try my best, and from a child, to be different, be myself. Well, be different by being myself. I think I'm someone who is not really held back, not really worn a mask per se, but kind of just express what I believe in, do what I believe in. I think that applies to all aspects of my life, even besides music. So it's a tough question. That's what I can think of off the top of my head.
Nice. So, take us through your journey, your childhood. You grew up in the USA.
I grew up in the US.
So, take us through your childhood, your parents, your education.
Yeah, so I think music was a central part of my entire life. From maybe 3 years old, when my mom started teaching me Indian classical music as my first teacher. My grandparents, my grandma specifically, is an amazing, incredible singer. And I think music, even my great grandmother. So music and a keen understanding of music has always been in the blood, in the genetics, and it just so happened that it kind of expressed itself through me. I learned from my mom first for many years, and then I started learning from my guru who lives in Chennai. And I've trained with him for over 10 years plus, maybe 15, 13 to 15 years. And I think Indian classical training was the foundation of understanding music. And then that kind of blossomed into my desire to create stuff of my own. And so it wasn't always that I had a passion for this. It happened that I was good at it to start. I just had inclinations towards it because I was good at it. And hence I pursued it. Also because my parents just put me for tons of classes and I just followed the instructions, right? I didn't think too much of it. So it only really was in middle school, maybe 8th grade or 9th grade, early high school, when I was like, okay, I think my skill level is good enough and I can keep working at it to the point where I can do something on my own. Like, this is special in some regard that I realized I could play instruments with fluency, I could sing with fluency, I could compose with fluency. So it kind of seemed like the natural step that I have to do something with this. It kind of like was too good to be true. It has to be acted on. So it was only when I realized that at like 9th grade when I started making YouTube videos. I started a YouTube channel in 9th grade. And I would just post covers. I would just make songs, record songs, and film little videos and just put it online. And some of them got very popular, and I just kept doing that over and over again with a lot of consistency and focus. And I think it was as I just kept doing different things within the space of music that I liked it more and more and more. And as I liked it more and more and more, some sort of vision about how I want my future to go started forming. So that was a journey. I mean, the best way I can put it, it was very natural. It was not forced. I was put in classes as a kid. I practiced a lot. I was curious, and it just so happened that after X amount of time, I had the inclination to go and do it myself. And yeah, that's what it is. And it's a deep love and obsession with the field and the industry. Like, I love it. It's my entire life. And it's just a very natural progression of how it's evolved.
Right. But then having YouTube channel at that young age, like you were in ninth grade, and you create music in Indian languages, if I'm not wrong, right?
Right. And that was because of the Indian classical training being the fundamental of how I started. And I don't know, I can't really explain that part because a lot of people ask me, even my diction is quite good in Indian languages. And I can't really explain it because what's happened is I just took a liking to Indian melody versus different kinds of melody. And I could do it pretty fluently and, effortlessly. So that's kind of where I focus my energy. But yeah, definitely it is quite unique that, I started at that time as with Indian melody, Indian music in America. So that was something different.
Right. Yeah, I was coming to your dictions, like especially when you are like that young in school, it is very difficult to differentiate the accent, right? Indian accent and US accent. So it just came naturally to you, I guess.
Yeah, naturally. And I think I listened to so much music, Indian music, that like my parents showed me a ton of songs growing up, and like listening was a part. As much as I practiced and created, listening was the other half of it. So I just like listened to so many different things over the years that it became natural. Like if you listen, you're suffocating your brain with that many different songs and languages. It's like you kind of just pick it up, I guess.
Right. Right. So when you say you compose the music, do you start from lyrics or like what comes first for you? Lyrics?
Yeah, so I'm not a song. I'll make this very clear also, so like other people can get this about me. I don't consider myself a songwriter. Maybe one day I will take that role, but I don't consider myself a songwriter. I consider myself a composer and singer and performer. So I compose melody first always, right? So it happens with me sitting with, like here I have a piano just sitting at my desk, and it would be me spending time with my instruments or even a piano there and like there's instruments everywhere, and I would just sit, by myself with my piano or guitar for hours and just try different vocal melodies against different chords on the instruments. And then something clicks, it's a very intuitive process. So something clicks, and then you pursue that melody. And after that is where I would get some idea of what feeling I want to express through that song. And kind of the last process is lyrics. And it doesn't often work that way for a lot of artists. Some artists who write their own songs, they kind of do it in this one shot, one go. But I kind of I'm more skilled in composition and vocal, so that I start doing it in that way, and then I work with a lyricist to complete my vision. And if it's in English, which I have some few songs that I've written in English before, I write that on my own. But in Indian languages, it's more about the composition and the feeling I want to express, and then somebody else's words completed. And so far, I've liked that approach, but I'm always open to how I can improve and change my process.
So when you collaborate with songwriters, lyricists, what are your expectations from them? Like, do you tell them what kind of emotions you want, or
Yeah, so I think I'm somewhat like I feel like I'm a control freak to some degree. I have the entire vision very established in my head before I outsource it to anybody. So I and I think I'm more open with it now than I used to be, but I would have like even line by line written in English to my melody, and I just want the translation. I would want um, that phrase captured in Hindi, Urdu, Tamil, something like that, whatever I was thinking of. And it's because I wanted to express the feeling that I was creating, right? I had an idea of what I wanted the song to be, and then I wanted somebody who was naturally talented in writing, which I don't think I am at that skill level, quite honestly. So I wanted somebody whose brain thinks in that way, that they can listen to a melody, take my vision of what I want the song to express, and kind of pen words to it. Which is kind of how it works in Bollywood, in film playback singing, whereas a composer would compose a song, right? And then they would give it to their lyricist and say to the lyricist, this is my vision for the song. This is what I want to express. Here's the melody. What can you come up with? That's how I've been doing it. And I think some great pieces of work have come out of that. But I think I also, for my own growth, want to be more vague and more open with it. So maybe give what I'm trying to do now is when I work with other lyricists, I want to keep it open so that they can put their own heart and soul into that piece of work too. So it's more general in terms of I just tell somebody, hey, this is a loose feeling I want to capture. You just express how you want to do it. So I'm just constantly trying to see how I can change my process. But most likely it's I have the vision and then I give it to somebody else.
right? Cool. So who are your audience? Like in India, like Indian?
Uh, I think if I last time I checked my data and all that, I think it's something like India, UK, Australia, US, and there's one I think, oh yeah, like Malaysia and Sri Lanka are pretty big audiences for me because of the Tamil songs that I've done, which is my native language. So those ones became really popular in a lot of different countries. But if I were to say who's my target audience, it's as broad as I want Indian people, Indian folks who want simple evergreen melodies. That's like as I can say it. Like I don't care who it is, but I am definitely trying to uh, position myself or sing to a Desi population, right? Because I think it's time that the Indian market has some new solo kind of musician who's self-sufficient, creating songs by themselves. I think that's definitely the future of how this industry may progress. But yeah, that's my common audience. All Indian people is how I would say it.
So when you perform, uh, you're a performer, of course. So when you perform in the USA, how is the response? Like, how do you choose your songs, and how do you pull crowd there?
Yeah, it's wonderful. The response is amazing because there are so many. Indian people in America that appreciate melody, that appreciate soul and songs. And basically, what I've been doing is I have a mini performance tour where I take my voice and guitar across the country to different events, various different events, whether it be private, whether it be public, ticketed events. I've done it across many, many cities in the last few years. And the response is phenomenal because I think people are wanting connection, connection with simplicity and sing-alongs and soul. And I found that I was able to present my own compositions as well as other people's songs that I really love in kind of this intimate way with just my voice, guitar, and sing-alongs. And people really connected to that across. And maybe it's because Indian people in America also are craving that community that maybe is there back in India, but maybe still being developed here, right? So there are certain cities where there's a lot of Indian population, but there is not many reasons for them to come together, right? As like events or anything like that. So kind of what I've been doing has been a good bridge to get people together in various cities. And yeah, I look to expand that as far and as wide as I possibly can.
Nice. Yeah, it's great. So walk us through your process, like from selecting a song to actually performing. What all process do you go through?
Um, I would say it's very intuitive. I mean, I have a like if I have an event that I'm doing or performance or concert, whatever it may be, I make a set list. And that set list depends on the time length. If it's an hour, it can be maybe 15 to 17 songs. If it's an hour and a half, it's 20, 25 songs, something like that. So I'm just trying to understand the crowd that I'm playing in front of and building a set list that contains a few of my original songs so I can introduce myself and my own work to people slowly but surely. But then I also it's very intuitive. I can't say that I plan it too much. I have a bank of songs that I select from that I know. And in the moment, I can add or subtract or do whatever. I try to be as intuitive as possible so it comes out naturally. Like I don't want to, I have done it before where I've planned it a lot and I don't think I felt great about those performances because it was too like rigid. I would rather people maybe can see that I'm going to bring a whole host of different songs and it may change in the moment, it may not change. We'll just keep it open. So that's how I'd like to do it and that's what I'm doing as much as I can. So yeah, it's more about the amount of songs and making sure that I have enough endurance to sing properly for those time lengths.
Do you remember your first performance?
I think so. I have a video of it, but I don't know if it's my first one. I was maybe 7 years old or something like that, and I sang. I don't remember which song, but it was in a library, and it was like a small event, and a lot of family, friends, and extended people were there, and it was nice. I mean, I think I remember the feeling, like nervous, but it's that same thrill, like every time you perform in front of somebody different. Uh, but yeah, it's very natural for me. I really love to do it, so it's great. I hope I can find. Maybe I'll share you the recording if I find it separately.
Sure. Yeah. And how about the complete full solo performance?
I did a performance. One of my favorite ones that I did. Let me think. Which ones did I like? I opened for Madhuri Dixit in 2024 in August, and that was, I think, one of my best performances. I sang the best that I had in a while, and it was a good 45, 50 minutes, and it was close to 800 people. So I really enjoyed that experience. That was a big moment for me. And I also did a solo ticketed performance recently in Chicago in October, I believe. Pretty sure it's October of 2025. And that was a very intimate crowd of, I think, 50 people maybe. And I that was amazing because I got to show many more of my originals and I had the audience, locked in with me from start to finish. It was great. So it's amazing seeing how it slowly progresses over time. It's really nice.
That's amazing. Yeah. So Before moving to career aspect of it, can you sing something for us here?
Oh, sure. Let me get my guitar. It's right on the side. I'll sing one of my originals that I did with Salim and Suleiman's record label called Merchant Records. I like that one a lot. तू अपनी धुन में चल ढूंढ अपना तू ही हल वक्त तेरा होगा कल हो राही आगे निकल रास्ते ना है सरल चाल अपनी तू बदल दौड़ अपना तू ठहर हो राही आगे निकल That's one called Orahi that I really like of my own songs. Any suggestions? Any recommendations?
So you work with Salim Suleiman, right?
Yes, I did a song with their record label Merchant Records, which is this one. It is about like persevering in your own journey despite uncertainties and just walking confidently with not too much expectation about the future, but just keep walking. I think it was a message for myself, and I think that message connected to a lot of people because sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in outcomes and like how you want your future to go, but actually the important thing is just acting properly now and walking forward with strength now, and that was the whole message of the song.
So how did this collaboration happen?
So I did a song with a violinist named Shravan Sridhar, who's a really popular South Indian violinist, and he featured on my song called Banno, which was a wedding song that I made a year back. And he had already released something with that record label, so I got in touch with that record label through a mutual connection, which was him. And I got a chance to pitch this song that I had already composed and talked to the team there, and they liked it, and it just went from there. I think they just liked the song, and we started building it from there. The video, the artwork, producing the song more, and then it finally released as a song in a video, which was lovely. It has, I think, 150 plus thousand streams, views across all platforms, which is really nice. But yeah, again, another effortless process, and I think knowing people, making good connections is important because it can lead you to different paths and different explorations for sure.
Nice. How about Naina Nikhil Iyer version? I heard that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was my first release with a record label, a major label, which was Z Music. That happened in January 2025. Yeah, January 2025, and yeah, it was a very special moment because it was the first time I released with a major label in India, which was a cool feeling. And not only that, but I had the honor of it being self-titled, which doesn't happen too often. So I was really honored by that. Nana happened, I was able to meet the team in Z Music when I was visiting Mumbai the year before. And I had a chance to pitch some songs and show some demos that I had. And they suggested we start with a version and then we do an original, which I did later in the year. So Nana was a song that, and still is a song that I love. It's just a beautiful, beautiful song and a great feeling. I thought it would lend well into the way I can do it in my own version. So I had some rough thing recorded and I showed them, they liked it and they were keen on releasing it. And then again, same process, you just build it over time and it comes out as a release. But that was cool. That one got super popular too, and I think people really liked that. But I'm most glad that it was titled as a self-titled thing. I think that was my biggest happy moment with that release.
Right. Okay, can you sing a few lines?
Sure. जो सांझ ख्वाब देखते थे नैना बिछड़ के आज रो दिए हैं यूं नैना जो मिल के रात जागते थे नैना शहर में पल के मींचते हैं यूं जुदा हुए कदम जिन्होंने ली थी ये कसम मिलके चलेंगे हरदम अब बांटते हैं ये गम भीगे नैना थे आसमान के सितारे नैना ग्रहण में आज टूटते हैं यूं नैना भीगे नैना.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So let's talk about the career aspect of it. So when you decided to take music as your career, when like, maybe all your schoolmates, classmates, they are thinking about, different fields, taking music or any art form is typically is kind of a hobby or, passion that is like, that goes along with the career but not full-time career. How did you pick this and when did you realize that you want to take this as a
I
career?
knew this before even going to college. Like I knew it from high school, like that I was going to do this. I was very clear about it, and I don't think there was any other way my life could have gone, to be honest. And I kind of just backwards tracked it and took steps accordingly to make it work in whatever ability I could. The thing is, this like people say it's a risk doing something like this, but to me, the risk would be doing anything else with my life. That is like my version of risk. This is not a risk in any regard for me. Like, the reason is because it's not entirely even just passion. That's one small part of it. I just think that I was realizing that my if I practice hard enough, that my skill level was at a certain point that if I keep working hard enough, I can become really excellent at this. Like I can actually be, at the high echelon of this art form if I work, right? And I think that was the main reason I wanted to do this because I feel like I have the skill level and the attributes and the work ethic to make something happen. And I think I believe that from high school onwards that I had the capability of doing it. So it didn't seem that ambiguous. It like I knew what it took to have some success here and I knew I could do it. So it was a very like linear form of thinking like if that's the goal and I know I have what it takes to get to that goal, let me just do it. And I think I want to inspire as many people as possible to not be afraid of, quote unquote, taking risks that may appear risks to others, but it's actually not that big of a risk. It's really not that big of a risk because the most people who succeed in alternate career fields, they just don't have much fear. You just do it and then the outcome happens at a certain point. But yeah, it was interesting seeing other people doing what most people do. And I don't think it was a big deal. I think it was so normal. Like my friends are great. I have great connections with so many people who are in different career fields and it's wonderful. I think I would like to inspire more and more people to just, figure out what you're actually really good at and go after that. I think that's the best career advice I could like say to anybody is, passion is just one small bit of it, but find out what your like top skill is. Like what are you the best at? And then that is the biggest chance you'll have to succeed in any career. Because if you go into some other career but you're mediocre, like you're mediocre at your skill, then you can be replaced. You can be replaced. But if you're really good at something, the chances are you will succeed in due time. That's my belief.
Okay, yeah. Do you believe in manifestation?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if I call it that, but I think the word is a little bit ambiguous, but I do think there's some truth to it. Like, there were moments where I have experienced such things like, I talked about it in a previous interview where I won a karaoke competition to meet Arjit Singh, who was like my biggest idol at that time, and everything was set. I went to his concert, and I was supposed to get a backstage pass to go and meet him, personally. And for whatever like just bad play of events, it just didn't happen. Like I was not sitting in the right seat, so they ran out of like it was just a logistical nightmare, and it was really traumatizing. Like I was like held back by security even though I had that backstage pass thing, and it was a bad situation. Like 2018 this happened. I was not very happy about it. But then from then, and that's when I just started making like videos and stuff. So I was like, this would be amazing to see that kind of level of success so close. Um, but then from that moment on, I was like, I just had that singular focus that this happened for a reason and it's going to turn around in some way and I'll realize it. 4 years later, I was invited by his team, his concert team, to help as a influencer for the show, like through social media promotion and all that. So I sang versions of his songs to get people in the area to, buy tickets and go to that show. And as a byproduct of that, I was one on one, got to meet him, which was so cool, which was 4 years later. And that was an example of some crazy way that things fell into place. But I think whatever I believe of it is just like if you have a consistent focus in something, then you kind of manifest whatever you're focusing on. I think that's very much true. So long as the focus is consistent, if it keeps changing, then maybe it doesn't work.
Right. Yeah. Do you want to sing a few lines of Arjit Singh?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, Nana was by him already, so that's
Yeah.
one.
That
One
that
of
was Nikhil Iyer version.
yeah, that was still his song.
Yeah.
What else can I say? तो से नैना जब से मिले, तो से नैना जब से मिले, बन गए सिलसिले, तो से नैना जब से मिले, तो से नैना जब से मिले, बन गए सिलसिले, तो से नैना सुध बुध खोई है कोई मैंने, हाँ जान गवाई गवाई मैंने, हाँ तुझको बसाया है धड़कन में सांवरे, तो से नैना जब से मिले, तो से नैना जब से मिले, बन गए सिलसिले. I'm gonna I don't even know, I'm gonna think of a different song after we finish and I'll be like, I wish I sang that one, but that's what came to mind at the moment.
But yeah, this is beautiful too. So, talking about career building, what advice do you give to younger like generation who want to take this,
In regards to this industry,
yeah, this industry? And how do they start actually? Like step by step, if you can, little guide. Like it is easy to say that, pursue career in what you like, but then we don't know how to, like people don't know how to go about it, like building a team, finding people, where to go, whom to talk.
I would say, like I already said before, the number one most important thing is figure out what skill within this sphere of music you're best at. Like, for example, if I took a mic and I stood on a dance floor party and sung to people like that, or like a kind of let's take Diljit Dosanjh for example, who goes to the arenas and stadiums and he has this electric energy and is doing bhangra and dance. And if you put me as the artist there, I won't be able to do it because that's not naturally my skill up. That's not where my strength is. So, but if you give me a guitar and you give me melody, I'll do it better than most people because that's what I've been the best at and that's what I've been working at. So I would suggest that first you kind of figure out like what are you the best at? Like genuinely, like is it singing? Is it instruments? Is it performing by yourself, performing with a band? Like really narrows like and ask other people, right? What do you think I'm the best at? So I got feedback like I always get these feedbacks like after I perform is like, you touch my heart, you touch my soul. I feel so connected to you and your songs, and I frequently get this feedback. Then other people said it's very unique that you perform with the guitar with fluency. It's very unique that you sing in Indian languages. So you take what people are telling you and you're realizing, oh, this is what I'm good at. This is what people are noticing I'm good at. And then you capitalize on that. Then you go all in on making that better and better and better and better. And then that's a big advice. That's the first advice I'd say. The second advice would be everything has to be about getting your name on a song, like an official song, officially released song, not these Instagram covers, not the YouTube stuff, an actual song. And so in technical terms, each song has IP. It's the actual piece of intellectual property that exists in the world, right? That is where the industry is. There is so much money in music, contrary to what people believe. There is so much money if you own that IP of your song, right? Which means if you're able to get a song out on your name, right? Your original song, right? Because if you do somebody else's song, cover song, the original creator of that has the IP. They own it. So if you can own your own songs and make lots of songs that hopefully get popular, right, through whatever marketing, your own efforts, there's money there. There's a lot of money there, and people should understand this. And I saw this wonderful analogy by an American rapper who explained this, and he was like, record labels, right, big record labels, they are worth billions of dollars, right? But they don't go on tour. They're not doing concerts. So where is that? How are they getting billions of dollars? It's because they own all these different songs. So if you can own your own songs and the songs become popular, you can have a lot of success with this. So that's number one. Make sure that you can somehow get your name on a song, and ideally you can own that song. And the third thing is, it depends if you're interested in live performances, but live performance is huge. I mean, I my two focuses, I want to build the biggest catalog of songs that I own, and I want to perform live as much as I possibly can. And I think anybody in different parts of music can do both of these things. So that's how I would structure it. It's not that complicated. It's just you need songs, you need live performances, and you try to be as in control of as much as you can. So it's kind of lucky that it's actually very lucky that I can somehow make these songs on my own. Like I make the music, I make the composition, I produce it, all these things, I sing it. So I'm not too dependent on too many different people, right? So I encourage, if somebody can work on how can I make a song by myself from start to finish and release it by myself and try to do these live performances on my own and just build this entire ecosystem on your own, you can have a lot of success with it. It's not a poor career path at all. You just need to do the right things. If you're not doing the right things, you'll probably be poor, most likely, but you got to do the right things.
Okay. So you have your own team?
I have a manager, and not too many people as part of the team, to be honest, because I do a lot of the work myself. I have a manager who kind of, I would say it's more of a partner, a business partner who kind of has believed in my vision. We work on different ventures. Right now I started a merchandise company that's going to release soon, that has something I want to express through clothing that I would take to my concerts and sell, like try to sell it there. I want to build out more bigger live shows. So it's a person I'm working with to, I won't name them, but I just frequently run ideas with them. They're supervise my process. We discuss ideas, and it's a bouncing back and forth kind of thing. I would like to keep the entire growth of my journey as like homemade as possible without like getting a massive company involved or team. I really like the intimacy of just like having a few people. My brother, he's a world-class drummer, and he's produced half of my songs. All the rhythm you hear in all my songs are made by him. He's my younger brother. His name is Nikhil Iyer. He's 4 years younger than me. And that's my entire music go-to. Like I don't have anybody else, nor do I think I will have anybody else. He understands music on the same complexity that I do. So we make songs together. we haven't performed much together because we need a bigger stage definitely for drums and stuff. I do it pretty intimate at this point. Um, but yeah, he's my music person. He composes, he produces, and he's incredible at production with drums. So that complements really well. Other than that, I have a mixing engineer who does audio engineering for me from time to time, and I have somebody who designs my artwork, like the album cover arts and stuff, because I think visuals are very, very, very important. Very important, actually. And people sometimes even look at visuals more than the audio, so it's the first thing you see. So that I have a person, a Photoshop artist in India who's very, very talented. Uh, but yeah, I want to keep the team small because I feel like it may even be more organic and natural. I won't lose my essence if I keep it small.
Right. Yeah. So what's next for Nikhil Iyer?
Yeah, I think it's as simple as I want more and more and more songs of my own, bigger songs of my own. I was really fortunate enough 2 days ago that my first song hit 1 million streams on Spotify. My first song to ever do so, which was a huge milestone for me. I think in like regards to everything I've done in my career, that was probably the biggest milestone because it was an original song. It was organic. It was independent, no label, and 1 million streams, which was like insane. Um, so I want more songs that reach more people. I want to get better at my craft. And it's between that and I want to build out my performances, bigger stages, bigger venues. And that's it. There's nothing really specific. I just want to keep expanding as I have always tried to do.
World tour or something?
Yeah, I need to get bigger for that. I'm definitely not at the level of a world tour, but yeah, one day it will happen when the time is right. But now, yeah, no, definitely not time for the world tour yet.
Sure. But yeah, all the best and thank you so much for your
Absolutely.
time.
Thank you for your time.
Good advice
Thank
for
you.
the audience.
Thank you.
So do you want to end up with some song?
Yeah, let me think. I'll do another original.
Yeah.
I'll do the one in Tamil because that was very close to my heart and it's my native language.
Sure.
And this is the one that just crossed that milestone 2 days back.
தாயும் தந்தையின் நன்பே புரியாத பாஷையே வார்த்தைகள் தேவையில்லை கண்ணே நின்பமே உன் துன்பத்தை கொள்வே அரிதான வைரம் நீயே.
So I'll end with that.
Nice, yeah. Language is never a barrier for any music.
It's not. It's not. It's about the feeling that gets conveyed with each song.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. Great speaking to you.
Great speaking to you too.